team.
Hey there guys, this is Malorian and this is the Orc Tactical team, and this is going to be kind of a response video. Anthony from the Sustainable Center just put a video out talking about is the Miscast table too forgiving. So I just listened to that, and if you haven't watched that yet, I'll put a link down in the description. Check that one out, then come back here. Alright, now this is going to be kind of my take on this, and I've kind of had to deal with this in my own way too, where I've played over multiple editions. I have played armies that go all magic, and I've played armies that go no magic, and everything in between. So I've kind of experienced it from both sides and all the different shades of gray. Now, one of the things that you have to kind of look at if you're looking at 8th edition, why is the magic phase the way it is right now? Well, you have to kind of look back to see how it was back in previous editions, especially back in 7th. 7th is one where they're going to say, GW, wow, this happened here, and we got to change it so that this happens here, which is how we get to 8th. So what was it back in 7th? Now, in 7th, you had these crazy magic phases where really the magic power dice you got were 2 dice plus 1 for every wizard level you had. So if you decide to take a level 4 and 3 level 2s, well, guess what? You're going to have 12 magic dice all the time. Just 12 power dice. There's no channeling. There's no randomness. That's just what you got. Now, past that, what you would get is you would have then the defense. And for the defender, you get 2 dispel dice plus 1 for every level 1 and level 2 you have, plus 2 for every level 4 and level 3 you had. So in most cases, they might have a level 4. They'd usually also have like a scroll caddy, the one that has a spell scroll. So they would have 5. So in these times where you're looking at 12 power dice to 5 defender dice, it was like, wow, dice were going out there. You could cast spells multiple times over and over again, and it was pretty crazy. Now, with that, there was a special type of miscast table and blah, 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 and even back then, the miscast table itself was not really too bad. I mean, when you're going for what the different things were, it was usually like, oh, you take a hit, or this happens, or that happens, but it wasn't anything really major. Sure, you might lose levels or something like that, but it wasn't really that bad. The worst part of it was that, okay, double 6s is irresistible. That makes it cast automatically. The other part of this, too, was the whole idea of double 1s. So if you ever roll double 1s, it just fails. I don't care what else you rolled. If you roll double 1s, that spell, I mean, take those dice, they're garbage. They're done. And that was a very key component to 7th, because with all these dice you could throw your dice, but if you fail to cast because you roll double 1, bam, these big spells could just disappear, and all of a sudden that difference of 12 dice to 5 is now 6 to 5 in just one casting. And at the same time, why is double 6 automatic? Why in the world would you want this to be automatic? Well, the problem is that you can sometimes have it skewed the other way. So, for example, for every mark of corn in the old Beastman book, you get +1 dispel dice. So you could easily have it sometimes where, hey, I just took a level 2 because I want to have some fun, so I get 4 power dice. Well, they get 2 plus maybe 2 from their level 4. Maybe they have 4 chariots with the mark of corn. Well, geez, all of a sudden you have way more dice than I do, and I'm throwing all my dice at this, just hoping to get double 6 so I can actually cast a spell. So that's where we were with 7th, and GW must have said, what are the real issues here? Well, with this, you had it so that if you ever have these different caster sets, you can have these really skewed magic phases. All right, let's control this. We'll make the winds of magic very variable. You'll be rolling for them. You won't just get tons of dice you can channel, but for the most part, it'll just be 2d6, and that's how many dice you get plus channels, right? Very, very controlled in a way that you can't go to the skew, but still crazy random, so you can't even depend on it. So really kind of taming that. And then the same thing for the defender. You can't just get like a bajillion dice because you have lots of marks of corn. No, you're going to take the top dice of those 2d6 plus any channels you might get as well. So great. GW says check mark. That's done. Okay, next thing here. How about double sixes for irresistible? Yeah, we still like that. You know, we're going for crazy magic phases. Keep that in. Okay, well, how about the double one? Should we keep that one in there? Well, you know, now things are kind of more controlled. All the dice are together. I don't think we need that anymore. We'll take that out. How about the miscast table? Oh, let's make that a little bit more crazy now. We'll add in like these templates where you can like smash your unit to show that this is really bad. And you can even do like the larger templates where like, bam, it's going to hit your unit. And there's even a chance your caster is just going to be dead. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Good. Sign it off. Send it out. That is the 8th magic phase. Now that we've been playing for a while and we're looking to 9th, well, right now, how is this actually all playing out? And like Anthony says on his side, you got to really look at it and say, wow, it really is something where that miscast thing is really tame. I remember that when 8th started, I looked at it like, wow, just if you ever want to spell 6 dice this all the time. Oh, what happens if you miscast? It doesn't matter. You know, a lot of times, oh, sure, maybe I take a wound, maybe not. You know, on my Orc Great Shaman, I'm toughness 5. I take a strength 6 hit. Okay, wounds me only a 3+, maybe you have a 4+ ward, and regardless, I have 3 wounds anyway. So this has to happen 3 times for it to even be possible for it to kill me. And realistically, with all the 3+ wounds and the ward saves, it won't even kill me then. Oh, I hit everybody around me, whatever. It's probably worth it. Oh, I do a small blast, still a little bit worse, not so bad. Wow, okay, a big blast, and there's a chance I go in the warp. That is bad. But what are the odds of that happening? Pretty small, right? We're just looking at a couple of choices on that whole chart, and it's on the rare side. We're not looking like it's, oh, you know, 6, 7, 8. This is where this happens. No, it's on the far end of the chart that almost never happens. That's fine. And in return, what am I actually getting for getting this miscast? I'm getting game-winning spells. Okay, we're going to have this combat. You know, this is going to decide who's going to win or lose. Well, giving my side +4 defense, or sorry, +4 armor. Come on, +4 toughness. Jeez, I'm getting mixed up in games now. This is massive, right? All of a sudden, my orcs are going in there. Okay, orcs don't usually have the lore of life. But let's say it's Empire. And Empire is normally just toughness 3. If I just jump up this toughness 7, I'm going to dominate that fight, and then I can just smash all the rest. Or maybe it's a banishment, right? Maybe I just really need to get this banishment off, destroy this thing, you know, and that's going to change the game. Okay, sure, I miscast maybe, and no big deal. In fact, what I find a lot of times now is that when you get down to these situations where I need this spell to go off to either put it in my favor, or even just to give me a chance, right? Sometimes like, wow, this was 50-50 until that spell was cast, and now it's way in the favor. Sometimes like, wow, I am screwed unless I cast a spell. And so what you do is just 6 dice it all the time because you need this to happen, and then you're actually hoping to be getting an irresistible force. This is not what's supposed to be happening, right? From GW, they're like, oh yeah, magic is crazy. You'll get an irresistible force. You better be careful with that magic. And here are the gamers just saying, 6 dice, it's worth it. It's just actually something I want to have. If I had an option of saying, will my Flesh to Stone go off, but I have to take a miscast? Yes, it is happening automatically. And so that is a real issue because that's not the way the magic phase should be. So as far as Anthony from the Sustainable Center saying that is the miscast table too forgiving? Absolutely. The whole system right now is too forgiving. It's something where they try making it so it's not reliable, where there's magic randomness and all the rest of it. But really, it's if you want to have that real control, it's a simple thing of pick that very most important spell and 6 dice it. And sure, this is not going to be the same for all the situations. Sometimes, like if you're rolling lore light or something like that, you want to throw out a couple of small spells and get multiples off. But for the most part, I am 6 dicing that Foot of Gork. I am 6 dicing that Dwellers Below. I am 6 dicing the whatever I need to win the game. So where Anthony went from here is, what do we need to do to fix it for ninth. And one of the things we have to make sure we don't do is in going to ninth, don't just go back to seventh. So we don't want to, go from seventh, say, this will fix it. Oh, damn, that doesn't work. Go back, because you're kind of like, out of the frying pan back into the fire. So knowing what we know now, what should we do to fix it for ninth? And I think the very number one thing you'd have to do is say that double ones, say that you fail right off there. So all of a sudden, if you're taking those 6 dice and you're going to roll them, the odds of getting double ones are just the same as getting double 6s. So whereas before, or right now, you're rolling those dice hoping to get double 6s, you're going to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. The more dice I throw, the better chance it just won't even go off because these double ones. And all of a sudden, maybe people want to do 5 dice, 4 dice, who knows what. Probably what it comes down to is to avoid those double ones, you're going to be going with smaller batches and want to go with lures that have multiple good spells. You can kind of spread it out across. So I think that double ones is a very, very important part of it. Now, should we change the randomness and make something more set? I don't think so. I think Magic should still be random. We don't want to go back to 7th where all of a sudden you have set dice based on casters, because you get those crazy things where, well, technically all my units of horrors are all wizards, so that means I got 10 level 1s, so that's plus 10 dice for me. No, we don't want to go back to there. I like the randomness for what you have. Now, how can we even make it so that the miscast is worse? Well, maybe that's not so much of an issue at all. Maybe what we need to go to 9th is to get rid of the miscast table. The miscast table can be kind of weird, kind of wonky, and like I said, it's one of those things where currently something that's supposed to be bad is actually good because it's forcing that out. In fact, it's even the miscast table that people are using to their advantage. It's not even the fact that I am guaranteeing this spell goes off. Well, in the case of single models like Nagash or a Demon Prince, oh, does a template that come down? Does everybody in base to base get hurt? Okay, that really sucks if you're a Slan or if you're a damsel in the middle of a big knight unit. But if you're a single model, that's helping you. I just got off a miscast so that this spell goes off, and all these guys who are fighting me just got hurt as well. And that's not something that should be happening. So I feel that the whole double 6 miscast already happens, go to a table, just take that out. Just take that whole thing out. Leave the magic phase as it is right now, 2d6, take the highest, blah, 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 and just say, by the way, any double ones you roll, that spell is going to automatically fail. If you roll a natural 1 or a 2, so, if you roll 1 dice and get a 1 or get a 2, whatever, that also fails. Well, what's this going to do is say, all right, if I want to get spells off, I don't want to 6 dice the power spell because it probably won't go off, and even if it does, they might scroll it. So I'm going to start looking for multiple spells. I'm going to be more tactical. I'm going to try throwing a few dice at this, then a few dice at this, and then maybe 4 at this, but it really brings back a lot more tactics to the game than just, I really need this spell, 6 dice. So there's my answer. I know a lot of others are like, oh no, like a miscast should be like, you die or whatever. But no, I don't think we need to be going that extreme. I just think double ones are a fail. Get rid of the miscast table completely. Get rid of the double 6s rule completely. And we can move on. And I think that would really work very well. But either way, like I said, if you listened to this first and didn't listen to me saying, to check out Anthony from the Sustainable Center, please go there and listen to that one because that's what this video is based off of. And then otherwise, I would love to hear both your comments of what you think of my idea as whether it would work or not, or 2, what would you do? Maybe you have a much better idea, a much more interesting idea. Maybe it's not a tweak, maybe it's a whole new system, and I just would love to hear it. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.